hallelujah. We're almost done. I'm trying to find out, make sure everybody's on the same page here. Verse 6, it says, for they, so we need to understand or identify who's the they, because they have shed the blood of the saints are the Israelites, and has given them blood to drink. Who's the them that has given the blood to drink? Because they are worthy. Who is the they and the them in verse 6 in the book of Revelations, the 16th chapter, verse 6? Right, so for they would be actually now be the governing system of today. For they have shed the blood of the saints. Because remember, it talked about 4 metals, all in the book of Daniel. We have the Babylonians, we have the Medo-Persians, we have the Greeks, we have the Romans here. And so this last metal here, for they have shed the blood of the saints and the prophets, and has given them blood to drink, for they are worthy to drink the blood, because the cup that she has filled to you, filled to her double. Verse 7, please.
And I heard another out of the altar say, even so, Yahuah Elohim, Almighty, true and righteous are your judgments. And the 4th messenger poured out his vial upon the sun, and power was given unto him to scorch men with fire.
Right, verse 8 is very important. I'm going to write this word down. Move the camera here a little bit. Let's see if we can find some space here. It's called cornea mass injection. So Carl know what this is, because we talk about this a lot. Cornea mass injection. We'll read verse 8 again. And the fourth angel poured out his vial upon the sun, and power was given unto him to scorch men with fire. This cornea mass injection, you can Google it. It is some very good information where it talks about now a disturbance in the sun. Meaning that the sun is going to heat up. We talk about solar flares. We talk about the Earth's electromagnetic field. We have something that's coming that, what we call it, a lot of internet services are trying to move to now, which is this 5G, but we have 4G, this 5G. This is going to cause, they're saying, a lot of disturbances, even with inside of our natural body frequency, where it's going to throw us off. Meaning this is that I strongly suggest, because I haven't even gotten into the practice of this, if you're not using your cell phone, don't keep the plugs in your ear. Okay, because that little wire there, it is a live wire. It's live. These are magnetic impulses now that are going into your ears, okay, inside of your skull, into your brains now, and it can actually now cause a disturbance. It is true. Okay, all these cell phone towers now that we're seeing, and notice now where, for the most part, where they're located at. They're located at the malls. All right, this is the reason why a lot of times during these pagan holidays, you can walk into these stores and they're singing the Christmas carols and things like that. It's all part of a subliminal messaging of causing the person now to actually, subliminal messages. Right. All right, so all of a sudden now you might find yourself actually singing the songs. Yep. So this thing is serious. Extremely, extremely serious. Because once this magnetic field is broken or cracked, just like with this machine, I mean, this is real stuff. This is not no Twilight Zone or Mission Impossible things. There's actually a machine called CERN. Yep. And they're constantly breaking atoms. From atoms to quarks to biaps. They're breaking down the energy is what they're doing. And they're trying to open portals. Yep. And they show it to us all day with the movies like Stargate, Star Trek, and they're trying. Anybody, have you heard of the Philadelphia experiment? Yep. And they talk about that a person they would need to be on a certain frequency now to actually now leave from one terrain to go to the next terrain. It has been documented that something happened between like the 1940s and 1950s now, where they actually now opened up a portal, but they didn't understand at that time the frequency that everybody has. And so when these men now went inside of this portal and they were able to drag them back out again, they came out disfigured. I mean, their bodies were just all disfigured because now we're talking about a different realm. And it's not hard to believe because if you were on a plane and you was up in the air too long and you travel in different time zones, they have what they call jet lag. Every place has, again, a rhythm. It's an 8-hour difference, was it 7 or 8 hour difference between here and Jerusalem. And so that bothers a lot of people because of their, it's called, I have the word here. I found this interesting. It's called the suprachiasmatic nucleus. It's called a clock gene. Everybody has a clock gene. So if that clock gene is turned off or there's any type of interference now, it can cause a problem. Just like in the movie Manchurian Report with Denzel Washington, where
Manchurian candidate.
Candidate, right, yeah. Where we can now have a situation where once a person's programmed, they can actually now send out messages now where all of a sudden now a person can go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs and start shooting up everybody.
Yeah, but just by saying a certain word.
Right.
Right, because they didn't even happen.
Right.
They showed it. They actually showed that on the news with Al Roker. I don't know if anybody ever saw that, but you know Al Roker, the news guy,
right,
black bald head guy,
yeah,
and I think you saw it as a car, and I forgot what the key word was, but when this reporter said this key word, he was first like, talking. Then she said the key word, and he said, and he was froze. When I say he was froze for a long period of time until she said another key word, then he snapped right out of it. So what Moray is bringing out, it's very real. Absolutely. They showed it in the movies, but they also showing it in real life on the news right before our eyes.
Absolutely, definitely, because I know they say even in the military, there's certain branches of the military where they program these guys, just to kill. Call it Green Berets, right?
Green Berets, right.
Yeah, and so, but before they leave the service, they have to go through like a deprogramming process in order to not be able to function inside of what they call normal society. And
flush your brain.
Exactly, and so I just want to make sure that everybody understands the seriousness of this. And so as it says in verse 8, and the fourth messenger poured out his vial upon the sun, and power was given unto him to scorch men with fire. So we're talking about intense heat. What we're about to face here in Mishra, according to scriptures, is going to be something that we have never faced before, ever, since the beginning of time. And one more verse 9, and we'll let it go from there.
Revelation 16, verse 9. And men were scorched with great heat, and blasphemed the name of Elohim, which hath power over these plagues. And they repented not to give him esteem.
Right, so with all of this going on, we have documented in our records that after all of this, they still repented not to give the Father Yahuah all the esteem. So, Mr. McCall, that's today's class. I just wanted everybody to make sure that they understood exactly what's going on here. John is looking at the constellations here. The movements of the constellations are very important. The way that we interact is very important. And even Zabu, he brought out something to me a couple of weeks ago about that enemy that's within. He brought out something very important. He said, Moray, listen, what about the situation where the Mashiyach had 12 elite men? They broke bread with him. They walked together with the Mashiyach, shared private conversations, a whole lot that they shared together. but there was one called Judas Iscariot, okay? This guy looked at Mashiyach dead in his face, all right, and betrayed him with a kiss. And so I say all of this to say is that you never truly know a person, okay, until the calamity hits. And this is when you know whether or not that person now is truly part of the Mishpachah. And the same thing happened with Peter. Peter cursed and swore up and down. I don't know him. I don't know him. God doggone it, mother effer. I told you I didn't know him. And so he denied the Mashiyach 3 times. Smite the shepherd, and the sheep will be scattered. And so we don't want that to happen again, Mishpachah. We want to make sure that we have a full understanding of Torah. We are the servants. We are the sheep. The Father sent the shepherd to give us life for the sheep, and we must have the knowledge of Torah in our foreheads. And that's today's class. I know we said a lot, but that's today's class. Is there any questions? Because I got some questions about the pineal gland. Am I telling anybody that we need to? There is a pineal gland that is there, and I'm talking about sensories. I'm talking about frequency. I'm talking about praying. I'm talking about meditation. I'm talking about not going into your physical closet, but the closet within inside of yourself. Oh, Kasada, are you talking about mysticism now? Are you talking about Kabbalism? No. I'm just trying to share that everybody has a rhythm. You never wake up some days and you're just not, you feel like you kind of like off key a little bit. Yeah. And what you need to do is say, listen, before I do anything else, what I need to do is sit back and pray and get myself back into proper alignment again, because right now I'm not in alignment. And I like listening to a lot of gospel songs because I'm more interested in the message than anything else. A righteous man falls 7 times, but he gets back up. But it's not that he gets back up, but he gets back up and he falls in line. Okay, just to get back up means nothing. But to get back up and fall in line with Torah, that's what we're looking for. So, again, I'm not getting into mysticism or anything like that, but I can share in Scripture that we all are working on frequency. And we're going to have to slow it down just a little bit in with Revelation and the plagues here, because some of it's kind of spooky. It gets real dark. It gets real dark. Okay, so we have to make sure that we understand what John the Revelator is actually seeing about the third of the stars and these planets that are moving, and we'll get there. But any questions?
I was going to say something.
Sure.
About that pioneer thing. The Gentiles pay a lot of money for a pioneer thing. I got a melatonin.
Yeah, exactly. Melatonin, yeah, absolutely. Because it balances sleep patterns. So it is very, very important.
They eat it. They eat it.
No, I don't think they would eat it. They're probably like extracting.
Put it inside themselves.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So a lot of that, just like when we begin to look at even the construct of the female body, we find it interesting. Why is it that whenever there's a problem with female reproductive systems, the first thing that they want to do now, without going into a whole lot of like research or telling you to get like second and third opinions, why they always want the woman now to take out her womb? There are so many. That's a lesson within itself. But they're harvesting body parts, and in the womb, it has a lot of nutrients, and they're extracting a whole lot of stuff from that, and they're injecting this stuff inside of them. I mean, Kim Kardashian, all of these people, they're into a whole lot of satanic rituals. I remember maybe about 7 years ago, I was still up in Jersey. Zakay was sharing with me about the iron mixed with clay. Remember, he was showing me the video with Beyonce, and she was dressed in some type of she was just robotic, yeah. But then to come to find out that that's everything that she was doing was based upon a movie now that happened back like when, you know, the 40s or
like the 50s.
Yeah, stuff like that. So it is, symbolism is there's a lot out here.
Yep.
There is a lot, a whole lot. Just don't sleep. And again, in ending, with these cell phones and with your tablets and things like that, make sure we as men and the women too, don't keep these things on your lap because they begin to heat up. Mm-hmm. Okay, then there's plates that you can buy. They say that actually kind of like lowers the radiation and things like that is coming from your laptops. Try not to keep the plugs inside of your ears or things like that because I mean it really throws you off. It gives you headaches.
And then not only that, you have women that they keep their cell phones in their bras, mm-hmm. and they're showing that this stuff gives you breast cancer. So you have to, I mean, you got to keep these things, you know, at bay and try to keep them as far mm-hmm. far away from your body parts as possible. I mean, it's bad enough, you know, we keep them in our pockets. Stuff like that, but yeah, you know, these things is giving us all kind of elements, so we got to definitely be on circumspect. We got to be cautious and careful about these things.
Absolutely. I mean, the adversary, the way that he has it, if I can't have it, you know, I don't want nobody. I'll destroy every single body. Then,
that's right.
You know, and he's doing that with the foods and things like that. You know, I have to always give thanks since I came to bring to the congregation of Yashra'al's attention. You know, the importance of eating healthy and GMOs and clean, you know, cookies and things of that sort. I mean, that stuff is going to be very, very important because there's just a lot. And I promise this is an ending. Even as a car, he could probably share some information with us later on. Is that there's a woman that he knows that she can actually get like a full body analysis, and she can actually tell you like what might be an imbalance inside of your body, mm-hmm. and give you like essentially like some type of herbal program to kind of like get things back in harmony again. Because when we begin to look at all of the things that's in the universe, like copper, iron, zinc, aluminum, and all those things there, all of that stuff actually is inside of your body. Yep. I mean, even gold. There's even gold inside of your body, and so. When there's a deficiency in these things, it throws off our frequency, and we can no longer communicate properly with the Father. And I promise this is the end. Just like when the high priest will go into the most set apart place, is that he had to go through washings, and his clothing had to be crystal clear. I mean, had to be clean, because he's now operating on a different frequency. And so once he goes into this set-apart place, I mean, he can't be contaminated. And so it's the same thing with us. We can't be contaminated when we're coming with the Father. So we just want to make sure that our gowns are white. And just because I promise that is it, because I can talk about this for all night. I love this here. Any questions? With anything? Okay, so everybody's good. Everybody's ready for that marriage supper. If it was to happen today, you know, all of us would be ready to go. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Okay, so listen, we're going to stand up and we're going to face the east. We're going to have our chief, Zakim, Gabar, Yahuah, to blow the shofar 7 times, and I'll end us with prayer. All right? Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us of our debts as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from all that is evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the esteem to the Father forever. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Father, as we start the week, Father, I pray that you be with us, keep us safe and sound throughout all the trials and tribulations that we're following, that are out there, Father. I pray that you keep us in shalom. I pray for all the Mishpachah. I pray for the Mishpachah that are not here, that are not able to make it. Father, I just pray that your love and your kindness is just poured out upon us, Father, that we might be able to get a full understanding of our responsibility and what it takes to be a Torah believer. What it really takes, Father, to be accepted in your eyes. Father, I pray that each and every last one of us can go inside of ourselves and find out exactly who we are. And once we can do that, Father, we can then move on and become that rightful bride to the groom. This is what we're praying for, and I pray that each and every brother and sister, myself being first included, Father, that I'm able to surrender totally to your Torah, to ultimately be as Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, to come to the realization that nothing can be done without you. Everything that I have, Father, everything, from the houses, the clothes, the furniture, the food in the refrigerator, all these things, Father, was given to me by you. I can do nothing on my own. Being that we broke the laws, statutes, and commandments, there is nowhere documented in any of our books that any of us are supposed to have wives, children, cars, clothes, or anything. We broke the laws, statutes, and commandments. And we must all realize the severity of the punishment that comes into play when we break your Torah. But because of your mercy, because of your love, and because of you sending your ultimate love gift, Yahusha Mashiyach, we are always indebted to make sure that you come first. Nothing comes before the Father. Not wife, not husband, not children, nothing. Nothing comes before the Father. Once we get in proper alignment and we put the Father first, every single thing else falls in line. But the Father must come first. And I pray that we all, myself, Father, this is no personal attack, but all of us, we need to make sure that we are in proper alignment with Torah. And with that, I pray that every brother and sister, Father, is able to receive these words with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and that we continue to pray and stand forth in honor and esteem in your Son's name, Yahushua Mashiyach, who you sent to be that atoning sacrifice for the nation of Yashra'al. I say hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah.